Welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I am here after seeing Mean Girls, and I'm going to be quick because it's like 12 degrees out here and I am sick. Um, so, this is a musical. This is not what I knew or expected going into it. This is the musical. It's starring Andrew Rice. It is screenplay by Tina Fey. And I knew that there were musical numbers. I didn't know that the entire thing was a musical, which is fine. I didn't hate it, even though I don't like musicals. I don't like them at all. They don't make any sense to me. But I guess it's sort of the way that people might feel about, say, a martial arts film or Hong Kong action film, that sort of thing. Actually, I have a whole theory about how they're kind of the same thing. But anyway, this is Andrea Rice, and she plays Katie, Caddy, KD. There's kind of a running joke in it, and she is Pam Beasley, Jenna Fisher's daughter. I don't know what her name is in this film because it doesn't matter. It's about the girls, and it's basically the same story as the movie. I thought this was just going to be an updated version of that movie, and it kind of is, even though in some ways it feels like the people who wrote this are kind of people my age writing about teenagers, and maybe we don't know a whole lot. It's not quite as bad as some of the others. There are some references to going to the mall and that sort of thing, which I think there's just it's past this generation. But overall, I think they do a really good job of incorporating current trends of social media and influencers and how rumors are spreading and that sort of thing while keeping the traditional sort of um, school bully narrative going, I guess. As far as the music, they did a really good job. I wish I could remember the young woman's name, and I can't remember right now, but who plays Regina? She's actually fantastic. Andrea Rice is pretty good as well, and I'm probably pronouncing her name completely incorrect, but I don't know. I really only know her from Spider-Man, and there was something else that I've seen her in, but I can't think of what it is at the moment. As I said, there are some adults. Tim Meadows is in this. Tina Fey is in this. Busy Phillips is in this, who tends to, I think, only ever play the same character because this is almost exactly her character from Girls Five Eva, which is a Peacock show, which I don't think anyone has ever watched. But again, another Tina Fey production. I guess she has her crew, which is cool. Um, you know, Overall, I think that this was an entertaining movie. It was definitely not for me, right? I am 48 years old and I'm a man, and yeah, this was not my jam. However, there were a lot of people. This theater was packed. Like, we actually had to go through three different showings to find place where me and my wife and my son could all see it. My son is a 14-year-old. He did not like this at all. Um, he actually my favorite part of this movie was sitting next to him and hearing him say, "Oh my God, when is this going to be over?" Uh, but there were a lot of teenage girls and younger women that were there, and there's one scene where Katie is sitting in calculus class or AP Calc, whatever, and she goes to talk to the boy in front of her, asking him a question or whatever, and he turns around in sort of slow motion with his hair going up and his piercing blue eyes. And, as Katie on string goes, all the girls in, not all of them, but a significant amount of them all kind of do that same intake of breath, that gasp. And so I guess he's a good looking dude. Um, and he does all right. He's got a very, very minor role. He's just there for plot exposition. And if you know the story of Mean Girls, basically Katie gets sucked into the world of the plastics and ends up becoming one of them, and then betrays everybody, and yada yada yada. It all ends in teenage parties as parents aren't home, in a school dance where everybody's happy and dancing together at the end. And this is exactly how it goes. There's nothing new here. There's no new ground being tread, but it's fine. They do a good enough job with it. The one thing that I would say, and again, as I said, this movie is not for me, is that there is a Halloween party. There's a lot of parties and dances in this movie, but there is one where the one of the mean girls, one of the plastics, and I don't know her name again, beautiful young lady, but she's singing about, how we've taken back Halloween, or they've taken back Halloween, and they can be sexy this and sexy doctors and cure sexy cancer and blah blah blah, and it's fine. There's a lot of cleavage and all that stuff bouncing around. And I felt a little uncomfortable, even if they're not teenagers. It was still definitely women portraying teenagers. And I don't know, maybe that, I don't know, maybe I'm a little prudish there, but yeah, I felt a little uncomfortable watching that surrounded by a bunch of young girls. So I am really glad that I was there with family and not by myself, because yeah, that would be awkward. Um, the other thing I would like to say, and this is not in regards to this film, but as we were walking out, there was a family, or some people who had been there, and giant buckets of popcorn spilled all over the goddamn place. I'm sorry. Take a second to clean that up. It is not the responsibility of the people who are working in this theater. I mean, technically it is, but it's not right to leave that mess. Like, God, just clean it up a little bit. What the hell? All right, I'm sorry. That was actually probably the worst part of the movie. I didn't hate the movie. So see it, stream it, skip it. I think see it. This is kind of something like the original Mean Girls. This is a tentpole film. This is something that we're going to talk about generation. This is I haven't seen a crowd like this and excitement like this honestly since Barbie. And there's a lot of similar thematic elements in this. Which maybe, they're not as deep as we might want them to be. But for the audience, this is fantastic. There's some decent messages in here wrapped up in some humor. There isn't a lot of terrible language. There isn't a lot of drug use. Like it's generally a clean, fun film. And despite my talk about the Halloween party, I think this is something that a family could generally watch, and it'd be fine. So see it, stream or skip it. I think you're within that demographic. Definitely see it. Um, Otherwise, wait and stream it. If you enjoyed the first film, if you enjoy musicals, you'll probably enjoy this. So, anyways, thank you very much. I went a little bit longer than I anticipated. I will see you after the next movie. Please clean up after yourselves, even a little bit. All right.